Well, hello everyone, and welcome to today's very special event about Apex Trader funding. Today, I am stoked to talk with Darrell Martin. Darrell is the CEO of Apex Trader Funding. Darrell is going to explain exactly how you can get paid as a day trader without having to risk your own money. So if you are already a day trader, or you have ever dreamed of being a day trader, you are definitely in the right place. Hi, Darrell. Thanks for being here with us today. Before you get started with your presentation, I have a very tough question for you. There's a rumor out there that you drained your wife's retirement account to learn how to trade. Is that true?
That is totally true.
Oh, my goodness.
She was a teacher, and I drained her teacher retirement savings, and that was my initial risk capital. And it was about $3,000. I mean, we were younger then, but turned it into over 20 in about a month.
Wow.
So it ended up being a good investment. But talk about high risk capital, right?
Yes, yes. I bet you wish you had some way of being funded by somebody. Well, I guess you were funded by somebody else.
Yeah.
Excellent. So what do you have for us today?
All right. Well, we're going to talk about Apex Trader Funding. And we're really the ultimate choice in trader funding. And I'm going to tell you what it is and how it works.
Excellent.
Sound good?
Sounds awesome.
Got disclosures, all that fun stuff. There's risk involved in everything. But the good thing is you don't ever invest any money with Apex Trader Funding. Doesn't matter what you lose, you don't owe anything. So why do I say we are the #1 trader funding company? Why would I say the ultimate one? Well, we paid over $130 million. We paid out over $50 million of that in the past 90 days. We paid out $25 million in the past 4 weeks. The next largest funding company paid out less in the last 4 years than we paid out in the last 4 weeks. So we're all about payouts. So that translates over 850 grand on average every trading day, over 8,000 payments, 200 payments a day. I'm just go on and going down the list, but basically we're ahead of the competition by miles, and that's because we have one goal, and that again is to pay out the most money to traders, and that's why people come to us. They're coming there to earn an account, not just get funded, but actually get paid. So something I'd like to ask the people who are listening to this webinar: how many of you have ever subscribed to trading newsletters? I have, so I'm sure many of you have, or day trading plans, or auto trading systems, or signals, or basically by doing that, you're entrusting someone else with your trading decisions. You're trusting somebody else with your money. And they showed you historical stats, but how do you know if they're legit? And I'm not bashing any of these things. I mean, I encourage all of them, but you want to know that they're legit. What if you could watch them trade, let's just say even in a demo account, and see for yourself and have them prove it? Would you like that before you entrusted your trading decisions, your money with them? Would you feel more comfortable with them, with your money, following their trades after some real-time proof, seeing consistent, seeing profitable without major swings? Would you maybe even consider doing a profit split with them, by giving them like 10% or something, or even follow them on your own separately, if you saw that they were consistent? The same goes for us as a trader funding company. We're looking in the evaluation, which is where you try to make so much without losing so much. We're watching to see in a demo account how you trade to know if you're somebody we want to fund. And we make it really simple on how to get funded, what the rules are, what you have to accomplish. So what is trader funding? We are going to have, by the way, a discount offer at the end for all Eddie Z subscribers out there. So hang tight.
Awesome. Thank you.
But yeah, it's for futures accounts only. So it's not for future options. It's not for equities. It's not for FX. It's not for crypto, CFDs, any of that stuff. We stay on futures. That's all we do. But you may or may not know that, like, if you're used to trading the spiders or the diamonds or the Qs or GLD or an oil ETF or whatever, like, you can trade all of that over on the future side. If you're used to trading FX, like euro dollar, pound dollar, dollar CAD, dollar yen, all that stuff, you can trade that on the futures market. So the futures market has plenty of options for it, and it's actually the pinnacle of trading. It's where the best traders trade because you get the best leverage.
Don't they have, sorry to interrupt you, Daryl, don't they have futures for Bitcoin?
They do have futures for Bitcoin and Ethereum.
Okay. And that you potentially could get funded to trade those futures,
Yes, we let you trade the micro futures on
the
them
micro futures. Excellent.
because
Okay.
they're so big and the margin is so insanely high because they're so volatile. So, but we do the micro futures on Bitcoin and on Ethereum.
Excellent.
But basically, it's proving you can trade consistently and profitably. And what we mean by that is, can you manage risk, profit, and size? That's what we're looking for. If you want to write those three things down, that's what we're looking for: risk, profit, and size. Are you somebody who goes all in, or blows the account in 5 seconds, or can you actually have some patience and manage that and take profits, not just like hope it goes to the moon, and take losses, not just hoping that it'll come back. So when you do that, you qualify for a paid performance account, or a PA. And you earn 90% of your performance in that account, 90% of the profit made in that account. So why would a company fund you? Well, they're looking for consistent traders. They're looking for diverse markets traded, because there's tons of markets and then tons of times. Diverse trading systems, looking to duplicate your trades. So maybe you do 1 ES and we do 10 ES. We're very selective on if we copy. Like, we're not going to copy NQ because it's just not liquid enough. Spread out the risk by having it across that. So just like the signals example mentioned before, I like to follow someone with performance and spread that money out. So some of the challenges and needs that most traders have, and I'm sure that y'all can identify with some of these challenges. One is just having enough money to trade. Maybe you don't have the margin you need to trade. Maybe you don't have enough to trade the size you want to trade. You can trade, but it's so little, it doesn't really seem to make a difference, right? Nervous about risking your own savings account or the mortgage money, right? Maybe you're worried about random news or volatility. I mean, that can like kill you. And as you trade on any kind of margin, depending upon the instrument you're trading, but like in futures or even in stocks, you can end up owing money for more than what's in your account because the market moves so fast in a certain way, depending upon how leveraged up you are. Maybe you have, or you're afraid of doing it again, blowing your account. If you traded long enough, you've blown an account. I've blown too many in my own time. Okay, so I think we've all been there, and it's nerve-wracking to do that. And you make bad decisions because you don't want to blow the account. So you go in this downward dark spiral psychologically and emotionally. I think we've all been there. Margin changes. We've seen a lot of this in the last couple of years where margins go up, especially like at night, they'll go up to like full margin or half margin, which I mean can be a huge amount of money, limiting your ability to trade on futures. And I mean, it can even knock you out of positions depending on how much money you have in your account. Most top traders, institutional traders, hedge fund traders don't trade their own money. They trade someone else's. So that ought to give you an idea. It creates a whole new mental outlook. And I wouldn't say it completely takes away, but it lessens the fear and the bad decisions. Does that make sense, Eddie? Like if you get the benefit of getting the payout, but you don't have the consequence of like losing your life savings, you might have a little more clear mind in making your trading decisions.
There's definitely a concept of scared money. And I just know from my own experience and watching other traders, since I started trading since 1987, I started on the floor of the New York Mercantile Exchange. My dad was a futures trader. I was 17 years old, and my dad had this saying, scared money never makes money. That's what he used to tell me. And he'd point out the guys, and he'd say, those guys are so undercapitalized that they never make good decisions, or they totally clam up. They can't do any trades because they're just paralyzed. So I totally agree.
And I think everybody in here, if you've been trading long enough, that psychology part is like just a huge part of what messes you up. Because if you go back and review the day, you're like, I should have made money, but I did this, and I did this, and I did this, and it just got worse.
But I think there's another part of it too.
Yeah.
Because you're mentioning this thing called an evaluation account. So you're still being graded, evaluated. So there's enough. It's different than having like a paper trading account where there's no consequence for messing up. So I
Right.
think that's a very interesting point and an interesting balance that you create there.
So you got a consequence of losing your valuation or a consequence of you losing your PA account, but you can always try again, and you're only losing like maybe $100. You're not losing thousands or tens of thousands. So the consequence becomes so much smaller that it helps out. Maybe some of y'all have tried other funding companies. I don't know if you have, Eddie, but they have super tight rules. They knock you out. They got all sorts of rules for like no reason whatsoever. And some of them will go out there and they'll proclaim how great their rules are and why they're so much better than Apex, but they don't pay out the money. Most of them won't even list how much they pay out. Or if they do, it's a fraction of what we paid out. So if their rules are so great, why aren't they paying out money? They'll say our traders are better than Apex traders. It's like, really? What? Why did we pay out 25 million and you paid out 2.5? So you've got to look at other funding companies. Are they paying out? Because that's why you're signing up. You're not signing up to get funded. That's a path to the goal of getting paid out. And a lot of them, there's little to no chance passing through their rules, their fine print, or getting paid out. They'll have rules just to make you pay more fees. They'll have unrealistic drawdowns, daily drawdowns, which just upsets you and makes you go in and reset the account or sign up for another one or whatever. And they'll keep that. Like it'll never go away. So it's like, oh, you can trade bigger, but you can still only lose $1,000 or draw down $1,000. Well, if I can't trade 20 contracts and only lose $1,000, I'll be out in a heartbeat. So whereas we let you build this huge cushion, you could have a $100,000 cushion. So you don't have that daily drawdown you're ever dealing with. Some will have minimum and maximum times in trades. So they limit your ability. They'll have how many trades you can take a day or you're a gambler. They'll have multiple steps to their evaluations. There's a lot of different things that they add in. They also have scaling where they let you trade with like full contracts to pass, but then once you passed, then you can only trade like 2. And then you got to make so much to trade 3. And you got to make so much to trade 4. And by the way, if you go over, we either fail you and take away all your money, or we make you stop trading for the day so you can't make the money back. So just by going over. Evaluation account rules, what do we have? Hit your profit goal. Okay, so on a $50,000 account, that'd be $3,000. So can you make $3,000? Don't hit your max drawdown. So on a $50,000 account, as an example, that'd be $2,500. And all this, by the way, is on the website, but wait to go there until we get done because I'm going to give you a coupon code. So you can't lose more than $2,500, and that trails from your open profit high. So if you've made $1,000, then your stop would go from 47,500, which is 2,500 below 50 grand. You've made 1,000, you're at 51 now, so now it'd go to 48,500. Okay, on your open trade.
So don't give out your password. Goes from the high water mark.
Exactly. Always goes from the high water mark. We even have videos on the homepage that explain exactly how it works if you want a visual.
Okay.
Don't give out your password or let someone else trade for you. We're looking to follow you. We're not looking to follow someone else. If they want to do it, they can do it themselves. 7 trading days minimum. So you got to trade for at least 7 days. If it takes you 50 days, that's fine. Okay, 7 is the minimum. Sometimes we go down to 1 day. So with a promotion, but 7 days is the regular. Follow a code of conduct and effort. Basically, just be professional. Watch some of the videos, read the fact, be professional with the staff. We ask them to be professional with you. Some people just get cocky and they forget that we're the ones that are funding. So we should be professional. Sad we have to say that, but it's just something that we've noticed that it's helpful. But that's it. That's all you got to do. Hit your profit goal. Don't hit your max drawdown. Don't give out your password. Trade for 7 days and be nice.
And what is the profit goal?
On a $50,000 account, it's $3,000.
$3,000.
And we have all different sizes of accounts ranging from 25,000 up to 300,000. Obviously, the bigger the account, the more contracts you can trade.
So let me just interrupt you there. So let's say I took this $50,000 account, evaluation account, and I picked the exact right trade. I made the $3,000 on the first trade, and we're on your standard 7-day minimum. Can I just sit pat and wait for the 7 days and then I get funded?
Well, you can't sit pat, but you could just flip a micro.
I could what?
like flip a micro contract or something for the next 6 days.
Okay. So there
But you do
has
have to
to
have
be
7 days where there was trades. Yeah.
you have to have 7 days worth of trades. Okay.
You can't just flip micros like in the funding time. You got to actually trade. But
Okay.
like while you're doing your evaluation, yeah, if you just happen to hit a runner on your first trade, then yeah, for the next 6 days you got to do. That's the nice thing about one day is when you do hit a runner,
Okay.
then you don't have to wait 6 more days before you get funded.
Gotcha.
So
Gotcha.
and
So
we often do like 1 day to pass. Or
so if
3
you
days
don't
to pass.
trade, that day doesn't count. It's only the days,
That's
7 days, 7 trading. Oh, it says it right there. Okay. 7 trading days. That means you have to trade for those 7 days or whatever days you have them set to at that
Exactly.
time.
And Sunday is part of Monday. Sunday starts at 6 and goes to Monday.
Okay. Got it. Got it.
But that's all you have to do. We don't have like a bazillion other rules. So no fine print, no complicated rules, making it hard to pass. We have a 20% higher pass rate than other companies. So than any other company that publishes their pass rate. So obviously we're doing pretty well. Again, the consistency, profitable drawdown guidelines, that again all comes down to, can you manage your risk, your profit, and your size? If you can or you can't. All the extra rules are just that company set up with this there to make you fail. So we keep it that simple. You can qualify in a little 7 days with promos, even less. We offer a one-step evaluation. We don't make you do like one evaluation and then another evaluation after that. Some companies do that, where they get to start all over again. A lot of companies are, and you may have seen this idea, they're all more about fees versus funding. So we're not there just to get fees from you. We like to fund profitable traders and consistent traders for a split and have a long-term relationship with you versus a short-term relationship with you. So just a summary again of how does funding work. You can sign up for any size evaluation account from $25,000 to $300,000. You immediately get your username and your login by email. You activate your login, and you do not put up any funds ever. You just purchase the evaluation, okay? And then you can pay a monthly or a one-time. You get to choose. So like it's like $85 a month or like $150 for one time. Lifetime performance account fee once you get funded. And when you pay that and sign your contract, you instantly get your funding activated. So there's no waiting. All your data, all your fees are included. We include platforms like NinjaTrader and other platforms that are out there that you can use. There's over a dozen platforms you can use. Use it, like I said, use it on multiple platforms. Our preferred platform is NinjaTrader and Tradeovate. So it works on WealthCharts, Ninja, Addis, Jigsaw, Bookmap, Motiveware, QuantTower, Sierra, Volfix, ArtTrader Pro, EdgeClear, and Finamark. And then we have a Tradeovate connection you can use, which has NinjaTrader, Tradeovate, and connects to TradingView through Tradeovate.
What is Tradeovate?
Tradeovate is it's now owned by NinjaTrader. It's a web-based trading platform. Very powerful.
Okay, so it's a platform like NinjaTrader 8. Okay.
Except for NinjaTrader 8 is a desktop application and Tradeovate is web-based.
Got it. Got it. And TradingView is either, actually. Okay.
So you can choose, or you can scroll down and you can choose Rhythmic if you want one of those, or you can choose Tradeovate if you want one of these. So.
And what is Rhythmic?
Rhythmic is just a data feed.
Aha. Okay.
So, and it's the risk management software that connects into these platforms.
And Rhythmic is the fees are all included for Ninja and for Rhythmic?
Yeah, for everything. There's no additional fees.
Wow.
So there's the evaluation fee, and then once you pass, there's the funded fee of like $85 or whatever.
Now, what about commissions?
Commissions are listed on our website. They're really good. Let me see. Let me pull it up.
Are commissions in the evaluation account too? Are you paying commissions on those trades?
You're not really paying them, but they are being deducted. I guess so. You are paying them.
Okay.
It's not like we're charging them because it's meant to simulate a live account as much as possible.
Which is important. I mean, it really should simulate a live account as much as possible.
Yeah. So like if I do a commissions for Tradeovate, just like searching commissions on our FAQ, then you can go down and you can see what our rates are. I mean, they're really good.
Okay.
Like $3.10 for the Dow, $3.10 basically for the major indices. Let's see here.
Are those rates equivalent to what somebody who funded their own account would pay?
They're probably lower.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, micros are $1.04 a round turn.
Wow.
So I mean, we have really, really good rates.
So it's as simulated as it possibly can be with commissions and everything. There's no way to get around those regardless.
Right.
So a person can simulate what a real life trading environment is and see if they can do it.
Exactly. So once you signed up, you begin trading. You trade those 7 days or less. They don't have to be sequential, by the way. You could trade 3 days one week, 4 days another week, whatever. You can take as many days as you want. Once you hit your profit goal without hitting your max loss live and you make your 7 days, then basically somewhere between 6 p.m. and 12 p.m., you'll get an email, which will have a link for your contract and for paying your PA fee. And then as soon as you do that, within like 5 minutes, your account will be set up.
Wow.
So it's all automated. One of the things on futures, if you don't know futures, you can trade 23 hours a day from 6 p.m. to 5 p.m. basically the next day. We don't have any daily drawdown limits or scaling size requirements. One thing to note is like for swing traders, people go, well, if I can only trade 23 hours a day, then what do I do if I want to hold longer term positions? You close it at 4:59 and you reopen it at 6. So, but you do have to be shut down by the end of the day.
So every
we
day
don't want that
you have
gap
to be
risk.
flat, no positions.
Because we don't want the gap risk of stuff that happens from earnings and Fed announcements and over the weekend global catastrophes and we don't want that risk.
Economic news, all kinds of crazy things.
Right. So if you are a swing trader, that's fine. You can still be one. It's just you're gonna have to shut down and then reopen. So, which is a little bit of an inconvenience, but for not having to put up the money and risk it, not a bad deal.
Now, when you say no daily drawdown limits, what exactly does that mean?
Okay, so some kind like you remember I told you like on a $50,000 account you can risk $2,500 bucks.
Yes.
Basically? Okay, well some companies will have $1,000 on top of that $2,500 bucks. They'll have $1,000 daily drawdown. Okay, so if you hit minus 1,000, they'll shut your either account off and you'll fail, or they'll just shut you down for the day and you can't trade again until the next day. So you have no chance to make it back, anything like that.
Okay.
You don't have that. You have your max drawdown, and then what happens is once you get in a funded account, our trailing drawdown, the one that has the high watermark, it actually stops at your starting balance. So once you get to basically $50,000, once that trail moves up to 50,000, so once you're like 52,500, right? It stops moving, and then you start building a nice cushion. So then, like if you're at 60,000, you have a $10,000 drawdown. If you're at 70,000, you have a $20,000 drawdown. And
so once you get funded, I'm sorry to interrupt you. Once you get funded, you get that initial drawdown risk under your belt, and you build up some cushion. You could build up a lot of cushion then. And that gives you a little more flexibility.
That lets you like take larger swings on your trades. If you do larger swings on your trades, like as far as drawdown, it allows you to up your size if you want to. Obviously, do it slow, right? Be smart. But we allow more contracts than anybody allows. But that doesn't mean you should use them just because they're there.
Of course.
It's like just because you have 25 grand in your account doesn't mean you should go full tilt.
That's what blows up accounts. That's what people do.
Oh, I know. And we see people do it. It's like trade small and slowly build it up. And once you get that cushion, then increase your size. I teach people don't increase their size for the first 3 months, like one contract max on a mini. And then if they're consistently profitable, then they go to 2. And then after a month, they could go to 3. So just being really slow on increasing that size. But you can do it however you want to. It's your money to make or lose. So, but again, no other rules, nothing like that. What if you fail the evaluation? You can pay an $80 or for a Rhythmic or $100 for a Trade account to reset your balance. If you fail a PA, you can go back to evaluation and then you just sign up for another evaluation.
Why would there be 2 different fees for either one of those accounts? Does it?
Because Trade cost us more.
Okay. And some people are just more used to that particular platform because it's just web-based Ninja and they've been using that. Okay.
They like Trade. Both of them can use Ninja. So, but some people like Trade.
Okay.
Or they like TradingView. So that option is there. It just cost us more, so we have to pass it on.
Got it.
And often it's half off of that price even. But the good thing is, if you fail, then you don't lose $2,500, or you don't have to refund another $2,500 in there. You just spend $80 or maybe even just $40 if it's half off.
Right.
And you get to start over. So you didn't blow. I mean, it takes quite a few of those, but we add up to $2,500. So of loss.
Okay.
So you're not risking your life savings. And not
Right.
that $2,500 is your life savings, hopefully, but it obviously can add up easily over time, especially in futures. I mean, you could blow 100 grand in 5 minutes. So we help you with that risk management. What instruments can you trade? We have equities, interest rates, currencies, ags, energies, metals, micros, and cryptos, like you mentioned before.
Okay. So this is pretty much like, I'm just looking through this list.
It's pretty much CME.
CME, CBOT, NYMEX, COMEX, all the usual. And then the crypto, the Bitcoin and the Ethereum on the micro size.
And then we also have ICE and Eurex. You got to pay for the exchange fee in addition. If you want to trade those, on Trade has those two options. If you're an FDAX trader and like you really want FDAX, or you like trading the dollar index or whatever, then I mean those are the two most popular out of those.
Those are the European markets.
Yeah. The US dollar index, I think that's ICE US now. So, but DX, yeah, ICE US. So you just got to pay the additional. It's just what the fee is, and you pay for it inside of Trade. You don't even pay us. So you just pay Trade inside your login. If you want those. If you don't want them, don't pay for them. So what are the payouts? We pay out on average over 12 million. That's actually outdated. So we're past that over the past 6 months. Once funded, we pay you the first $25,000, 100%.
Nice.
So we take no share of that. So if you have 10 accounts, because you can have actually up to 20 accounts. So let's just say you had 10 accounts, then you would actually get, if you made 25 grand on each of them, you'd get the first 250 grand.
Wow.
And then after that, we pay you 90% of the profits that you make. You can go to our payout section in the FAQ, and it'll give you even more explanations if you want, like, what about this? What about that? What about whatever? And you're allowed to have up to 20 total like performance accounts. So what really allows, the reason people do that is they want to spread out their risk. So instead of trading 10 contracts in one account on a 50K account, they could trade one contract in 10 accounts. So it's like having a $25,000 risk instead of having or $25,000 drawdown instead of having a $2,500. So, and it multiplies your profits. Obviously, it multiplies your losses, but as long as you keep it small, then the losses are small, the profits are small, but the profits really, you can only make, if you make $200 in 20 accounts, you make $4 grand. Right. So if you could just do that once a day.
So you see a lot of people doing the multiple account approach?
Yeah, and most of the people we paid out that are millionaires, that we paid out over $1 million to, use 20 accounts.
Wow.
And we have a lot of 6-figure traders and tons of 5-figure traders. So, and that's because they'll get like $2,000 per account times 20 accounts, they get 40 grand. They do that twice a month, they're making $80,000 a month. So hence how we keep going up. So we paid out almost $150 million. The number keeps going up. How we paid out 25 million last month. And one of those was another $1 million trader. It made like 1.1 or 1.2 million.
Wow.
So, and the max trailing drawdown, instead of going into this, because it seems so complicated, it's just just want to explain it as high watermark, meaning the highest point of profit in an open trade, whatever your balance is, it's the risk allowed below that. So whatever the highest balance you get to, if it's $2,500, it's $2,500 below that. I can go into all this different stuff, but it just gets complicated, and we have videos now that make it a lot easier.
So you say there's videos. Are there videos that kind of explain best practices or how to optimize your potential to get funded?
We have education that's on our tools page. Just like your company's listed on our tools page.
Referring to optimizing using the funding accounts, like are there, so you were talking about why do people have 20 different trading accounts at the same time? You went over that I was tracking with you, but I think there's probably some people who weren't necessarily tracking with why someone would do that. Are there videos that explain that?
Yes, we have a whole video on why would you get multiple accounts.
Okay, excellent. And
So
then,
you can probably search just about anything in our FAQ and find an answer to it.
okay, so you have
We're
like
adding
a
to it every
giant
day.
knowledge base on the website.
Yes.
Okay. And then getting to what you just mentioned, let's say, because I guarantee you there's people listening to this who say that this is great. I love this idea, but I don't even know where to start. I really don't have a system. I don't have a methodology. I want to be a day trader. It looks so fascinating. I'm a good learner. I think I could do this. I just need a system.
My personal recommendation, obviously I can't advise, right?
Yes.
But would use the system that I use. Under tools on the website, we have Apex Trader Funding Sniper Bootcamp. It's free for 30 days with no credit card.
Excellent.
The second month is $1. It gives you access to a trading room, trading tools, how to use the platforms, what futures are, what day trading is, what the setups are, how to know when to get in, when to get out on a loss and a profit. Teaches you 5 different setups, and you have people that you can, and it also, once you start becoming a paying member, $1 or more, then you can get into a small mentor group with like 10 or 20 other traders, so you can feel comfortable asking questions.
So everything's there.
Yeah.
Everything's there. And I know there are tons of people who use there's tons of educators who use Apex Trader Funding who have their own methodologies who recommend you try it out with Apex and get funded through Apex. So
yeah, we have hundreds of educators that recommend Apex. So I mean, this is one method. I tried to make it as simple and as objective as possible.
it's
I will tell
probably the
you,
best place to start because it's included.
I think it's the best course out there. But what I will tell you is it's one of those things where you got to be serious, because it's not a moving average crossover. It's not just 2 lines crossing. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to feel like, if you sign up for this, you're going to feel at first like you're looking at the Matrix. And you're going to watch the videos and you're going to be in a cloudy haze of fog. And then light is going to slowly start seeping through. Aha moments are going to start happening, and you're going to start getting it. And you may have to watch the videos 2 or 3 times. So you got to be dedicated to mastering. It's a profession.
You got to really want it. You got to really want it, and you got to focus on it. And if you do that, it's like anything else. It's like if you put your attention on it and it's something you really want, the light will come in. If you just
have $1 million, one of our $1 million traders use this system. I've had traders trading with me for over a decade, and it's a lot of work, but it's worth it. There's a lot of easy stuff out there, but it's not worth it. I originally made this for my daughter when she was born, to teach her how to trade, so that way she could have a way to do this without having to go through all the crap that's out there online. And it ended up becoming a company because one of my friends wanted to see the videos, and he helped me turn it into a company. Like, I'd never built it with the intent of making it a company. I was literally building it for my children. So I mean, it's built with a big heart, and trying to make it as simple as I can. I mean, it's not rocket science. It's just a lot of learning, because it's a whole new vernacular.
It's a whole new vernacular, and you just have to get a feel for it. Yeah. It's like becoming a pilot, in a way, right? Because like a pilot, it's a lot of information, and then you have to physically practice the feel of the airplane, takeoffs and landings. I mean, I'm about
to start taking pilot lessons. My wife bought me pilot lessons for our anniversary.
Awesome.
And so, because I've always wanted to fly, but never got around to it, she bought me lessons. So, and of course, why wouldn't I take lessons before I went out and flew a plane?
Exactly.
Right? That'd just be stupid. So why would you risk money before you learned how to trade? So definitely check that out. I mean, feel free to check anybody out you want, but here's the free one. And the reason it's free is I built it the way, whenever my friend talked me into making it into a company, I said, I want it built in a way where I wish it would have been built this way for me when I started. And so instead of charging you $10,000 to see what's behind curtain 1 and then 10 grand to see what's behind curtain 2, and then 20 grand to see what's behind curtain 3. I'm like, here's the whole thing. You got 30 days, check it out, see if it's for you. We don't charge you a dime. We don't ask for a credit card. So
that's the best place to start. If you're new to trading, you haven't explored any methodologies, maybe you're just you think you can just watch the markets and it makes sense to you, you're wrong. You might get lucky. The worst thing that can happen in trading is you make money on like the first 2 or 3 trades, because you're going to get cocky, you're going to get bold, and then you're going to get your bell rung. And so the fact that, and I've known Daryl for at least 10 years now, and I learned about Daryl. We became friends from his trading education. That's how I learned about Daryl. And that's got to be the best place for you guys to start if you want to learn a methodology and then attempt to get funded. It's beautiful. That's great.
Yeah. And I mean, we have over, I want to say it's 40-something% pass rate, which is, most companies have like a 20% pass rate.
I think it's lower than that. I think the other companies are lower than that. I think it's more like 10%.
So I know we have over a 40% pass rate. So, I mean, which I think is pretty good.
It's outstanding.
Because that's new traders, old traders, people trading all different systems. And my biggest tip, honestly, is just trade small and go for a little bit a day. Yeah, you can pass them one day, but you don't have to. And if you do that, you're probably going to end up buying a lot of evaluations. And here's the thing to remember, the way you pass is probably going to be the way you trade your PA. So if you pass by going all in, and then you lose and lose and lose and lose and lose, and then finally the 6th time around you pass, then you're probably going to go all in on your PA and lose it. So the way you trade your evaluation is most likely going to be the way you trade your PA.
That's a good pointer, because you've seen what's come through, so you can see what people do.
I like to see people pass. I like to see us pay out. Whenever we had our big public relations meeting, like at the beginning of the year, well, not last year, but the year before, they said, "What do you want to accomplish?" And I said, "I want to pay out 10 times as much." That was my goal. And so, I mean, it's like, if we do that, everything else will take care of itself.
It's so encouraging to hear that you're paying out the money, because it means that people are being successful using your methodology and then using other people's money to make money for themselves. I mean, isn't that what everybody wants these days, is to not have a boss, work from home, work from remotely, wherever you are?
I mean, even on top of that, I know of at least 3 traders who were homeless, living in their cars, going to Starbucks and getting on the Wi-Fi and trading, and they've literally made enough now to get their own home and everything.
That's awesome.
So, I mean, it's really cool to see a difference that it makes. Some of the ways that we defer from other companies, well, we paid out over $140 million, 100% of the first 25 grand. Most pay less. By the way, that's per account. Most that have an amount, it's per trader. So if they allow you like 10 accounts and they allow 20 grand, that's 20 grand over the 10 accounts. Ours is 25 grand per account. 90% payout after the first 25,000. By the way, that's old. I need to update. A lot of companies have copied us and now pay out 90%. Simple one step.
That seems to happen when you're running a successful business. I've had the same.
Yeah,
people copy a lot of my stuff too.
So many of our rules have been copied, but they also changed just a little bit to take the edge away from you. 7 days or less. Trade as many accounts as you want. As far as evaluations, most companies limit you 1, 2, maybe 3 accounts. Again, 20 accounts on PAs, but as many evaluations as you want. No scaling, so you can trade with up to full contracts. You don't have to fail for going over your contracts. What will happen is, let's say you're allowed 10 contracts, and you fat finger the button, you hit 11, or you do 20 or something. It'll just reject the extra 10 or the extra 1. It's just,
the system will automatically reject trades that the account cannot handle.
Yeah, exactly. Just like if you're trading a live account and you go over your margin, and it'll reject it. We just auto reject it. It's not like it flattens your account, impacts you in any negative way. It just rejects it. I said no daily drawdown to worry about. Some companies have what's called end of day drawdown, and they market it as being the biggest and best thing. They may even give faster payouts, but they do that because they're trying to get you to withdraw a little bit of money out so you fail faster. And they have the daily drawdowns with their end of day, which they don't go away once you're funded. So you never really can size up. And again, they have at least a 20% lower pass rate. So end of day may sound good, but it's not as good as what it is. So I'm not going to get into it, but just remember that we have a 20% higher pass rate than any end of day company. So, and we don't have the daily drawdowns. No minimum trader requirements. We don't care if you trade once a month or once a week. Go on vacation. You don't have to get our permission. You'd be surprised how many companies will shut down your account for not trading once a week. No minimum profit requirement. You don't have to make a certain amount each week or anything like that. We have more contracts per plan than anybody else. We have lower cost than anybody else. We give you a free access to Ninja. Some companies you have to buy your own. We include trading
how
education.
much is that worth all by itself?
Isn't the license like $1,700?
It's very expensive. It's very expensive. Yeah.
Yeah, we give that to you for free. You can trade on holidays. You can trade through the news. You get real-time data. Now, you can't trade the news. You can't go in and like trade CPI. That's not allowed. And you wouldn't do that with your own money, hopefully, because that's how you blow up accounts. Okay? But if you happen to be in a trade and news comes along, we're not going to penalize you for that. Real-time data is included as long as you're non-professional. 99.9% of you are non-professional. Okay? Even if you use a company, you're still non-professional. So some require you to pay for data. You can trade on about 20 platforms. You're allowed to scout. Some don't allow you to do that, or they say you have to be in for 10 seconds, or there's no lifetime max cap on how much you can withdraw. I know of half a dozen companies that have max lifetime caps on what you can withdraw. None of them have it on their website. You only find out once you get the contract.
In the small print hidden somewhere, which you're probably so anxious to electronically sign that you miss it.
Yep. And I mean, these are the bigger companies that are out there. I mean, they're not near as big as us, but they look big because they advertise a lot. And like one of them, the second largest company, which again, we made more in 4 weeks than we paid out more in 4 weeks than they paid out in 4 years. They cap you out at 25 grand. And so if you make 75 grand, you give up 50. And if they are going to move you over to a full live account, then, well, you gave it 50 and they move the 25 over. So just keep in mind, I mean, we paid out $1 million checks. So we have no caps.
Something seems not ethical about that.
Yeah, it's not, I mean, if they want to do
the money and they won't give it to you. Is that
what they want to do that? Exactly. If they want to do that, but put it on their website so you know before you spend a dime.
That just sounds the fastest way to lose a customer.
Yeah, definitely. Especially
a good trader, right?
And we want to get that 10%. We want to get you into a live account. After we've seen that you're consistent, we're going to put you into a live. First, we're going to put you into a sim account we can copy in the PA, and then we'll move you into a live account if you're consistent. So we want to make that 10%. And why would we want to cap them? So you can have as many evaluations as you want, 20 paid performance accounts. Again, wide multiple, spread out risk, minimally easier to trade and see one contract than it is to see 10. Duplicate your profits, more contracts to trade larger amounts of contracts at a higher risk of trailing threshold being hit, like 1 in 10 accounts versus 10 in 1. There's a video on the trade copier that's also on the tools page. It shows you how you can trade multiple accounts at once with one click.
I see. So you're saying there's a tool so you can spread out the risk among multiple accounts by copying it to other accounts.
Yeah, and there's like 3 or 4 companies that have made them. My education company has made one. So
these are like plugins to Ninja?
Exactly.
I got it.
Okay. And ours even now works through Ninja, but with Tradeovate. So, which is pretty cool. So basically, final words here, Apex Trading Funding is definitely the place for you. If you're looking to get funded and get paid out, would you go with a company that has the biggest and best reputation? That is the company created and operated by traders, for traders, with the easiest rules in the industry, the highest payouts, the most funded traders of any company out there, the highest amount of actual payouts to traders than any other company. If you want funding and payouts, why would you not want to be with that company? Again, only 7 days to qualify, sometimes less. Only 10 days in a PA to request a payout. You get 2 payouts per month. We get past the true live prop trading. You're doing really well. We'll move you over into a multi-account prop trading. Well, again, the trader keeps 100% of the first 25,000 payout. We have a one-time PA fee option, so you're not paying monthly once you're funded, and that's per PA account. You can have multiple PA accounts, up to 20 funded or PA accounts at the same time, not one at a time like other companies. Like a lot of times, some companies will let you get one, and then you have to qualify for the next one, then you have to qualify for the next one. You can qualify for all 20 at the same time. And don't just take our word for it. See it for yourself. Hop on our YouTube /Apex Trader Funding and look at the videos. We have more videos. I mean, we have hundreds, if not thousands of videos of traders saying that they got funded, that they got paid, and interviews with successful traders that have taken withdrawals, all that stuff. Go see it for yourself. Don't just take this as like some big sales pitch from me. Go look and see what other traders are saying. So wouldn't you want to hear and see it directly from other traders just like you? So check it out. No other company has the reviews direct from funded traders like Apex has. Again, we have one goal. Don't be distracted by all the policies. Focus on payouts. Put 85 million. It's actually over 140 million here. I haven't updated this slide. Over 50 million in the last 90 days. So like it just keeps growing like crazy. We can't keep up with the slides. But I mean, that translates into a lot of payouts every single day, a lot of payouts over the last 90 days, a lot of customers paid every single day. These are the numbers that competitors don't want to talk about. You'll hear them talk about funding. You'll hear them talk about policies. You'll hear them try to bash 20 accounts. You'll hear them say a lot of things, but you won't hear them talk about how much they've paid out in comparison to us. They'll compare everything else to us, but they won't want to mention money. So when you hear somebody talking about us, listen to see if they mention how much little they paid out compared to how much we paid out. And by the way, we've been in business for 2.5 years. These other companies have been in business for like 10 or 15 years. And we've blown them away by that much. And that's because we have one goal: pay out the most to traders. And that's why we're ahead of the competition by miles. So a special offer, use coupon code EDDIEZ.
Woohoo! Yes.
And get 50% off or more, depending upon what special is going, the first month, and 50% off or more off all recurring months for any evaluation accounts, all sizes.
Excellent.
It's good for as many evaluations as you want. Again, you can only get max 20 PA accounts. The discount doesn't apply to PA accounts. It just applies to your evaluations. Check out the site, review all the questions in detail. Again, that coupon code is EDDIEZ for at least half off, if not more, all the plans on the site.
One word, no space. EDDIEZ.
Exactly. So, EDDIEZ. Thank you for your time. Thank you for having me on, Eddie.
Absolutely. I appreciate you being here. I just want to thank you for sending us a lot of your people our way for computers. And I can tell you personally that we get tremendous feedback about what you guys are doing, about everything you guys are doing, from the evaluation accounts, the ease of the evaluation accounts, the education that's there, the community that's there, the support that's there. It's just feedback that we never hear from any other service providers in the industry. And there's a lot of snake oil salesmen out there in this field. So I'm sure a lot of people who are in this room right now know that. Yet there's still tremendous opportunity to make money in the markets. And this is an opportunity for you to, if you already know trading or you think you know about trading, to not risk your own nest egg. This is an opportunity for you, if you don't know anything about trading, to actually, it's a path to get started and also not risk your nest egg. So I couldn't think of a better way to get involved with the markets if you really don't want to take that mega level of risk. I mean, and this isn't something that's been around for a long time. This is a newer concept to give people the opportunity to really figure out trading without having a tremendous amount of money in savings that they have to put at risk. So I think what you're doing is really special. And so I would recommend that if you're in this room, take advantage. Go look at the website. There's a link on this page on your screen right now. You can click on and see what Apex's best offer is right now. They do run specials pretty often where you can see bigger numbers than 50% off. Thanks so much, Daryl, for doing this with me. And excellent. We'll do this again soon.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
Awesome.
I look
That
forward to
was
seeing y'all on the payouts page.
so you have a payouts page. You have like a leaderboard?
Well, it's a payout page for the last 90 days. So if you go to the bottom of the website, there's a payout link, and it shows every payout made in the last 90 days.
Awesome. That's fantastic. So hope to see you guys on the payout page.